growing up, there's a lot of family members I met very passively. And, I do also agree with the fact of like trying to have now even more intentional relationships.
Hello, family, and welcome to Season 2 of the Callaloo and Collard Greens podcast. We are so excited to be back with you, and this season is all about building something beautiful with intention and on purpose. So we are so excited to get into our first episode of the season. You're here with Aaliyah, my husband Omar, Alicia, and Brandon, and today we are talking all about everything that goes into being in a multicultural, multi-ethnic relationship and building family, building love, building legacy. So wanted to start with a full kind of dive into what was one of the things that you really loved the most and surprised you the most about your relationship, and what's something that you kind of have clung to at this point and have really built into your family traditions?
A whole lot of family time.
Yeah.
We like to do family things. It's always a family thing. So that is one thing that I think we both independently did within our families, but now we have our own family thing. And like the bigger family is part of our little family, and we do a lot of family things. So that is what I think we've started to like naturally incorporate it into how we spend our time.
Yeah, no, that's good too. And it's just really about doing everything we can to include our son, who's now 2, and everything centers around him now. It used to be about us having the get-togethers and being the host. Now it's like, well, where's they want to see our baby, so that's been good to make everything centered around him, and then bringing together all aspects of our family, those that are literally up the block from us or around the corner to those that are out of state. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, people actually just come over to see him. We're not offended by that. It would be nice to be seen too. Yeah. But I love that people do come over to spend time with him, but then it creates this, a bigger bond, I think, just across our friend groups, because our friends have become our family too, which is something that I really appreciate. Like Brandon's open to my friends and I'm open to his friends. And then they're all a part of our family. Some people out there be shady, but it's okay. We're not doing that.
Shady.
Right.
No one's
The funny
shady.
thing
With
about
deeds and
that,
everything.
Nobody's shady.
but what
With deeds, I said with deeds and everything.
Don't even get me started. But that
my deed was sitting in that office. Nobody could come in.
We get it. I'm sure there's
Well-
an episode on boundaries one time.
Well, okay. One of the things that I was actually, what you both made me think about is I remember last season, what came up a lot was just the fact that Brandon's family had family reunions and his family was close by, and yours tended to be at a distance and kind of spread all over the world. Do you think that's something that's kind of inspired this attachment to family and building village and community close by?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Were we talking about that recently, where it was just like, my sister has done it, but I too have joined the bandwagon and trying to like bring everybody together, or if we're in a city that a family member resides in, we'll try to bake in extra time to go see them. Which is important because growing up, of course, again, like not having access to your immediate family was, a bit of a challenge. And I guess as a child, I remember my mom even like, y'all remember calling cards? You don't remember that's because you.
Oh, you mean wait? You mean the thing you used to go to the store and be like, give me a $5, the $10? Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I remember those. Mm-hmm.
Most West Indians that are like elderly millennials like myself would know that.
Not elderly millennials.
You go to you go to the gas station or the corner store, you buy the calling cards. And I remember my parents particularly buying these calling cards. This was before WhatsApp. And they would call like, my mom would call her siblings. My dad would call his siblings. They would call their parents. And I always remember my mother being like, come talk to your grandma. And I'm like, hello. I used to run from the phone sometimes.
Every minute count. every minute
second
count.
of
Every
Right.
yeah, and then so the card is running out, and I'm like, I don't want to say. She's like, come to the phone,
Who is this?
and I'm just like, hello, and she's like, hello,
It's your auntie.
and it would be this short exchange and more of a formality than anything meaningful at the time. And now that I'm older, I'm like, dang, I wish I had those moments. They have all passed on. But I wish I had those moments to like, I wish I understood it then and would have been more intentional and thoughtful instead of running from the phone. So for me, now that I'm older, now that I have my own child and we have a family, I do try to make an effort to like reach out, make those in-person connections because my family is cool. I don't know about your family, but my family is cool. And the beautiful thing is they're also spread out across the world. So I can go to Canada, I can go to Dubai,
London.
I can go to London, Jamaica, anywhere in the US. Like I just got back from Iowa celebrating my auntie. Shout out to my Dr. Auntie. And I pretty much can go anywhere and be with my family. And I think that is just something that I value now as an adult.
And I think it's so special that you said that. It kind of brings up, and Omar and I have been talking about this a lot, especially following the Super Bowl. Like one of my favorite albums of all time at this point, along with the rest of the world, is Debí tirar más fotos by Bad Bunny.
We'll stand.
And
Don't spout
Definitely would just wait and look at the subtitles.
Well, okay. But he said, I agree, everyone learn some Spanish. But the translation of that is I should have taken more photos. And it's reminiscent of a lot of shared moments that I think when you think about our communities as well, we feel a lot of that. Like to your point, like these very unique cultural experiences that occur when we're young and we don't always understand them or appreciate them in the moment. But as adults, we look back and we're like, wow, like, I really was like 5 years old falling asleep at a party that my parents had me out to till 3 a.m. And in my mind, I was just like, I just want to go home. But now I look back and me and my cousins laugh about those experiences. So, I think it's just really special to think about. And I think that's, for me, one of the things too, that with Omar's family and with his culture and what I was exposed to, there's all of those special little moments and things that are, kind of traditions, but feel more like rituals I really loved about his culture and that I wanted to kind of, continue with our family.
Well, what I was going to say is one thing that I know Aaliyah laughs at me for, because I always, especially my new term for this, you guys got a little woo woo too going on.
A little what?
A little woo woo. A little
like woo woo woo, like a little pizzazz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like one thing, I remember during like New Year's, Hoppin' John, right?
Yeah. New Year's Day.
Like New Year's Day, and having the Black Eyed Peas, the collard greens, and what everything kind of would represent as far as bringing the new year. For us, it was kind of the idea of just like being like, oh, okay, like there's a little bit of superstition that we all share in celebrating some of these things, right? And some of it, and a lot of it, like growing up, it was kind of based on, oh, you can't do that because that's it's gonna incite maybe something negative happening, right? But I feel like for me and how we've kind of put into our family, it's become tradition, it's become practice in a lot of ways, right? Where it's like, how do you want to be intentional about bringing in the year? How do you want to end your year, right? Like even small things, like I was thinking about like black cake and such, right? Having that in certain
at our weddings
and having
gotta have it at the wedding.
Outings. I mean, when we've had certain celebrations at home, just finding more ways to have those things, right? But I think that's been the beautiful part, just like having those kind of especially food being at the center of it, something that can be shared, something that's fulfilling to everyone. I think that's been really nice to kind of share that amongst cultures.
And I'd love for us to dig more into that because we're kind of sitting at this theme, right, in this episode, really talking about intercultural relationships, but also the idea of gratitude and discernment. And I think we've all brought up some really kind of amazing examples of things that maybe were really incredible. We didn't recognize it as kids. And so we were looking back and we're like, we really need to preserve those things. But also those moments, to your point, some kind of negatively coded things that we experienced growing up, or that we learned or internalized, and we're kind of thinking through it as, okay, maybe we don't want to carry that one over. We want to kind of use our discernment and figure out which are the things to keep, which are the things to not. But I'm curious to know for both of you if you've had kind of some more of those experiences as well, of just like, even in your calling card example, there are some things in there where it's like, the sentiment here was great. Would you use the same execution with your child? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll let Brandon go first.
I can't go because I don't have anything. So you have to go.
Okay. So I think about the whole calling of the grandparents.
Yeah.
So Braden is so fortunate to have all four of his grandparents. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we cultivate for him is not a transactional environment when it comes on to family, right?
Right.
My prayer is that he has an established relationship with his grandparents, and he has that today.
Right.
Like he has his special activities that he does with each of the grandparent. So one of his grandfathers, I mean, they both live out of state, but even though we are a no media household, Braden spends time literally on a schedule with his grandfather every morning. Like his grandfather will make sure that he is present and available and ready. Uninterrupted time.
He tells people, don't call me.
Literally. And Braden is there giving him orders.
With love.
Literally, with love, of course. He's such a sweetie. Giving him orders, running down what song he wants to listen. And he even will say, like, Mama says, I can't watch this. Which I love. I'm like, you get it. And so for me, that is so wonderful to have that one special thing. And even for me as a parent, like, I don't want media in front of Braden, but I'm also learning there's you make concessions, right? And exceptions to the rules when it comes on to building that relationship with family, as long as it's healthy. And even with his grandmothers and even my father, like he love a boo-boo. That's what he calls him. Boo-boo, boo-boo, boo-boo. And he asks for him. And whenever he does, as long as we are able to, we call him. And they have their boo-boo exchange, and he's boo-boo and boo-boo. And his other grandma, that's her munchkin. And my mom, I mean, you can't tell.
He knows that he has an identity with each one of them, and he values it. He knows it. He calls them out, like he said. One grandma, he knows it. Oh yeah, munchkin. Like he just correlates it with it. But again, it's just it's a pleasure to see the intergenerational love that's happening. Again, the thing from last year to this year, as our son grows, is the fact that it's centered around him, but he's being the tie that binds for a lot of our family traditions and family get-togethers, and that's a blessing.
Yeah. So it's not like it's great because it's not like you're discarding that experience. You're just reframing it. You're almost remixing it.
Oh man,
I had to.
Intrusive thought.
I know, it's like trying to quiet the intrusive thoughts in my mind. I'm like,
my wife is.
Did you have anything like that too, Omar, for you, where you kind of were like, this was something for us that had to be like remixed a little bit?
Don't do it. Please.
I was waiting to see, like, are we okay?
No, I will say, I think one thing I agree with is growing up, there's a lot of family members I met very passively, and I do also agree with the fact of like trying to have now even more intentional relationships. Like I reached out to like a cousin, like an older cousin that was always around, like in some ways kind of grew up together in some ways, but like just to check on family, right? Like when we went to Chicago one time, I made sure to like go see them and stuff, right? And I think a lot of those relationships were led by our parents, and there wasn't a lot of kind of instruction on how to keep it forward or how to naturally kind of allow it to progress. So I think for me, that's a big focus in, I even see it with, especially with your family where, we went to the family reunion recently, right? And, we were, so at the center are these matriarchs, right? But kind of everyone's trying to branch out and have these dynamics, right? Like, I'm not blood related to that side of the family. I ended up on the committee, for the next time. But I think, again, that was also for me being like, we have to be intentional about this space we share and the progress that we're trying to make,
Right.
So I think that's the big thing where, if nothing else, our son gets is just making sure that he understands that, these relationships are meant to be cultivated, right? There might be some coaching that we're going to need as far as how we should cultivate that for him, and he should have this space to be able to express that. And we should also make the space to make sure that that's happening intentionally.
Yeah.
So,
and you bring up a good point too. I think if I'm thinking about things that, well, I don't know if this even needs to be remixed, just something that I love that I really want him to inherit and to keep is there is no distinction of if you're blood family or not.
Yeah.
Culturally, I feel like we have a very and we might have talked about this a little bit in season 1, but like we adopt people real quick. Like that is just like, that's how we do things. And there's no blood, not blood, married into half this, half that. It's just your family and you are loved and you're loved hard. And I want that to be our son's experience, and I want him to carry those things forward. I want us to be able to carry those things forward.
I want to jump in real quick,
Yeah.
but also emphasize the importance with that. And I'm glad that y'all are doing it, that it might be one way for a little bit too. I think we shouldn't get upset if it's not two-way when it comes to the outreach, when it comes to the engagement. Like sometimes you're going to be the one doing the work, but eventually or organically, it'll show itself to where it's two-way. But sometimes I think, we might say, oh, well, I tried and they didn't reach back up, but it's okay. You just keep doing it because they're your family, and we're going to keep building. But glad you're on the committee.
Hold on.
Glad you're on the family reunion committee.
He was voluntold, to be fair.
I'm not volunteer.
So, and I like that. I like that. However, comma.
However,
This what my therapist be saying. However, comma. Have that energy, but know when to stop. Don't do it at the expense of yourself. And I think that's the other thing too. Sometimes we have these concepts of what we need to do, right? We're the ones that are always reaching out. I definitely see, Brandon as that person. He is definitely the nucleus and the glue.
But it gets taxing.
But it gets taxing. And at the end of the day, you can only do but so much.
Right.
And yes, we hope and pray that people will see that and do their own version of outreach, because it's not meant for just one of us, right? But sometimes I've seen it happen time and time again where there's just one person that's just constantly reaching out, constantly trying to bring everybody together. And at the end of the day, if something happens to you, they gonna figure out how to get together. And it might not be the way in which you would do it, but I think we also have to recognize sometimes it's okay to take your hands off the wheel for a moment to care for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is super, super important. So I just want to say that.
Well,
but yeah.
I think that's super valid. And I also think in many instances, from a cultural standpoint, it can be controversial because it gets us into the territory of, how do you embrace these cultural traditions? How do you preserve them, honor them without being suffocated and restricted by them? And that can be very hard to the point that you're making of, again, going back to gratitude and discernment. We're so thankful and so grateful for some of these things that we learned and that we've experienced. But at the same time, how do we use our discernment so that we can navigate these spaces safely?
I think my comments are short, but I think we'll be impactful here. I just
if I do say so myself,
they will. I would gas myself a little bit, but
decided.
no, I decided no. But I think the big thing is I spent a lot of time growing up constantly validating my cultural presence, and I'm at a point now in my life like no one can take away the fact that I am descendants of Jamaican heritage, right? And in that, there are things that are authentic and true and core to the heritage, right? But the reality of it is, I'm also growing up around building, adulting in different environments, different cultures, different contexts, new beliefs. And so that culture has to be able to mold and kind of adapt to what this environment is. So I think the big thing is like not invalidating yourself in it, right? You have access to it because you're born in it, right? You were raised in it, right? There are things authentic to me as a Jamaican child that growing up in the U.S. that I think is still authentic to the overall Jamaican experience. And I just think it's big for us to really think about how we are not trying to replicate, but help things evolve.
You're right. You're 100% right.
And I like that. New belief, new experiences, new thought process, new ways of doing things. It is quite okay.
Yeah.
I know for me, there are some things that I tried to replicate. Like, for instance, I can cook. I promise you.
Very good
I'm a
cook.
wonderful,
I co-sign that.
wonderful chef in the kitchen.
Yes.
However, I can't cook. I can't sell fish.
Oh man.
My godmother made her soul. My godmother
dish.
made her soul rest in peace. One day I was trying to cook ackee and saltfish.
It didn't work out?
Honest, it did not work out at all. She said, "Nobody with that next time."
Oh no. Oh no.
That honesty.
I made ackee and saltfish and a fried dumpling. My mother was the fried dumpling person. Like she could make a fried dumpling. Actually, yeah, I want some fried dumpling. I made the fried dumpling, and my godmother, in all her glory, did not want to disrespect me at my house.
So she tried it.
She was like, "This not reach yet."
Oh no.
We
And
is
then
to go.
proceeded to say, "Can't stone dog with this." AKA, I could throw this at something. And
Was it
Do
tough?
some
How you made
damage.
tough?
it wasn't great.
It was
and I've
solid.
never made it again.
Oh.
So I stay in my lane, right?
Okay.
But insert something else. So I
Right.
will cook another dish, which is funny because earlier we were talking about the black eyed peas and collard greens tradition.
She's done a great job.
When we got married, or we might have been dating, I don't know.
Then I
Brandon
bring
was like, "Oh, that's what we do," and I was like,
Oh, that's what we do. This guy.
one of my
the money
really,
and the
really
good
good
luck.
friends, I was like, "Girl, you know about this collard greens and black eyed peas," and she was like, "Let me show you." And I have not stopped cooking collard greens and black eyed peas
collard
for New
greens,
Year's.
yeah.
And so for me, it's like I used to be so hard on myself, like, "Oh, I don't know how to cook all the Jamaican dishes and that. Nope. I stay in my lane. I can cook some collard greens. I can't cook callaloo.
And we take some shortcuts sometimes, Like I learned the other day for fried plantain, instead of cutting and struggling, mashing the thing, I could fry the whole banana and then, what was it? Fry it and then smash it and then split it.
Look at
Yeah.
you. Look at you.
Shortcuts,
You smart.
And it
I'm
still
smart.
make you authentic.
And it still makes me authentic, Anyway, but
I think
Activity
I think the cool thing about this conversation too is like it's not just about it is where you grow up, it's all these different things. It's who you meet, it's who you marry, it's who you build a family with. But it's also generational too. I think there's a bunch of things that we think about from like a cultural carrying it on perspective that no matter where you grow up, if I grew up in the same place as my parents grew up, I still would do it different because I'm not going to do it the same exact way my parents did it or my grandparents did it or my great-grandparents did it.
Yeah.
So, I think everyone in their own unique way, whether they're growing up in a new place or, they're all kind of experiencing that.
And Aaliyah, like again, about them doing it different too. Not getting lost in what it was. It's like a balance, like you said too. It's like we're gonna do it a new way because I was with my cousins, and then I mentioned 221st Street, where literally a house on 221st Street was my grandparents and my great aunt and uncle, and then my cousins. We would go, three would be upstairs, I'd be downstairs. They're the only people. My family on that block lot is the only people that lived in that house because they came up from the South, moved up north, built it by scratch, and that's a home that's literally my family has only touched. And within, yes, I would do things differently, and I'm saying it, but they did it different, and they've created a legacy. So in evolution, I guess it's also the balance of maybe doing new things, but also honoring what was done.
Absolutely.
Because I was like, wow, we're connected through grandma's house, which is wild.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that is an awesome segue to an
yeah.
oldie but goodie. Not that old. I mean, season 2, right?
Last year.
I mean, it
last
feels
year.
like forever.
It feels like forever.
We missed y'all, by the way. We
Yeah.
missed y'all.
Welcome back.
It's been a
Missed all of y'all.
It's been a year.
Oh y'all.
We happy? We tired? Okay, go ahead.
But we want to bring back a fan favorite from season 1,
Which is titled.
which is called
You either keep it or you dash it away. All right.
What does that mean in English?
You either keep it,
Save It.
save it, or throw it in the garbage. Get
Okay,
rid of
there
it.
we
No
go.
longer subscribe to it.
We're being
All right.
grateful. We're using discernment.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
weak. Not discernment.
All right. So, y'all got your cue cards.
We're ready. We're ready.
Ready? All right, so I'm gonna go right into it. Plastic on the furniture.
Do we agree?
Yeah,
Yes, right.
We
absolutely.
agree. We agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we agree on this one.
All
We're,
right,
we're
so-
dashing
so-
over here. We
So
don't.
we're gonna
not-
throw it away.
Oh, we all agree.
Yeah, we all agree.
Yeah,
we're
no
going
plastic
dash
on
it out of
sofa.
garbage.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
insane.
want it.
Unless
was too
it's the
sweaty.
Beyonce
Too-
song, then we keep that.
Too sweaty.
Yeah, the whole sweating.
Waking up sweating at
I
my
just
grandma,
want my house to
grandma's
be.
house.
I want my
Grandma's
house to
Listen.
be lived in.
Sliding off the couch.
I disagree with that part. I want my in a perfect world, my house would look like a model home all the time. Like they'd
Like
be like
Macy's
Dang,
showroom
Anybody? Yeah, basically
furniture.
That yeah.
When
Lit-
did that retire? When did plastic covers retire? When did they say no more?
I don't
Was it
know.
the 90s?
I think it stopped
no,
with
I thought it was
our
in the 90s.
parents.
Yeah, maybe our parents, yes.
Yeah,
The
because
grandparents.
grandparents'
yeah,
house
grandparents,
still
yeah.
for sure. I grew
Love
up
my
with that.
grandparents.
Definitely grew up with that.
Oh, this one I like. Children staying out of grown folk conversation, or how they used to tell us, see and blind, ear and deaf.
Do we agree or disagree on this?
What are we?
I feel like
For this?
I'm in the middle.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh! Wait. Hold on.
Because y'all definitely, I thought, would have
Hold
been
on,
like,
hold on,
throw it
hold on.
away.
Wait.
No, let
So, do you want to
As
speak? I have
a
thoughts.
member of the Gentle Parenting Society.
Oh, hold on. No.
president.
The
president.
I'm not gonna go that
The
far. Let me
president.
say
I'm
this.
joking. I'm
Okay, so
so
me and
joking.
Omar are saying save. Brandon and Alicia both are saying to dash it. But
That's insane.
here's my thought on it. Right? Here's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily subscribe. This is a remix moment. I don't subscribe to it in the way that it was traditionally done. However, I do believe that kids should be allowed to be kids. And there are some things that they should not be exposed to or be
Yes.
concerned with or worried about.
Yes.
And I do think sometimes there's an overexposure of certain things
Right.
that are very adult. And I'm not even necessarily digging into the dangers of adult themes and things like that. There's an extreme. I'm more so talking about like, there are certain things that you just need to manage as parents that your kids don't need to be a part of managing. They should not be parenting you.
Yeah.
I was more simple convo kind of thing when I took it. But
Well, but I think, and you and I had this conversation this morning, actually, when we got up at 7 a.m. We had this conversation because
This girl.
it's brutal, y'all. We want to cultivate an environment where he is able to express himself
Right.
Yeah.
in
Absolutely.
decency and in
Absolutely.
order and with some respect. So
Yes.
if he ever talk to y'all and don't put a handle on your name, you can check him. However, we don't want him to be afraid of talking to us and engaging with us, right? But I do agree. Children need to be children, and it is our job to
Right.
protect them.
Right.
Yeah.
They just don't need to be
Yeah.
a part of certain conversations. And like you said, it's not the dangerous ones. It's just things that adults need to
Yeah.
work out. But
I think we're all on the same page, which is cool.
Yeah.
Different responses, but same page.
okay.
What's up? What's up next?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Let us know in the comments too, because I'm interested.
Yeah,
in
I want to
seeing
know what
the
everyone
different-
else thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These daggone takeout containers.
All right.
we got to put it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you gonna?
I already
I'm
know.
gonna check it. You want yours and I'll take mine. Yeah, exactly.
No.
You carry yours.
Okay, so what we
all
got?
got individual ones.
Okay. So I don't know if this is cultural, but Brandon
Yes,
has
it is.
saved.
It is.
I have saved.
It is.
Alicia has
It
dash.
is.
Omar has
It
dash.
is. But let them need to put away some food, and they gonna got nowhere to go. Then they gonna be looking for the
But
container.
you can't find the lid though.
If it's a nice
I can
one.
find a lid because she dashed away the lids.
I think we got it. Let's give us one more, Alicia. Give us one more.
She dashed away the lids. Can't find them.
Don't. This is triggering.
This is it's triggering for me.
I throw away if we can't find a lid. I do dash it away.
In the same spirit, because my card is still the same. Okay, the plastic bags.
I'm team. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
you gotta be.
The only reason
we're in New York.
I'm gonna agree here. The only reason I'm gonna agree with this is because we found that little plastic bag organizer. So
It does limit our number of.
that's the only reason.
We don't keep all of them.
We're not getting paid
keep a
for
reasonable
marketing,
number.
but Container Store. Go to Container Store.
Oh, wait a minute.
You will agree with a lot of
Not
things.
a sponsored ad.
Right.
When you need to sit there, and put, at least you.
Dash them into the garbage. We don't want them. We don't need them.
Go
It's
green.
gonna be a time when she needs it. That's
green.
like
Go green.
you
save
have to
the
go get your
planet.
Trader your Trader Joe's bag. Let's go rip through.
I think that's all of our time, actually, for episode 1. This has been so fun. I'm happy that we're jumping back in, and we are looking forward to hanging out with you all this entire summer. Stay tuned for episode 2. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us as we celebrate love, family, and legacy across cultures.
There's always a seat for you at our table, so remember to like, share, subscribe, and give us your thoughts as we want to hear your stories.
Spreading joy, sending love. Thanks for joining us on the Callaloo and Collard Greens podcast.